Life doesn't change in the big moments. It changes in the quiet ones we almost miss. This is Days Like These. I'm J. Malik Asher, and I'm glad you're here. Men say cheating means nothing, and they really believe that until it happens to them. When a man cheats, he tells himself a very simple story. He says it was just sex. He says it didn't mean anything. And in his mind, that feels true because he didn't feel anything. He didn't feel a loss. He didn't feel a shift. He didn't feel like he gave something away. So he just comes home and he acts like nothing changed or ever happened. But when a woman cheats, everything changes for him. Now he feels it. He feels it in his chest. He feels it in his stomach. He feels it in his head because he can't even think straight. He can't even sit still. And he keeps replaying it in his mind whether he wants to or not. So now he's asking a different question. He's not asking what happened. He's asking, what does this mean? But here's the truth. It means the same thing it always meant. The only difference is now he can feel it. Because when he cheated, he still felt safe. He still felt chosen. He still felt like the one she would come back to. But when she cheats, that feeling disappears. And in its place, something else shows up. Now he realizes something he never had to face before. He realizes she can choose someone else. And that hurts. Because a man will say, what hurts me most is not just the cheating. It's knowing another man has been there. And to him, that feels like the deepest violation. Because in his mind, that was his. Not to own, but to believe that he was the only one who ever could. But a woman is looking at him like, you went somewhere else with all of you. Not just your body, your presence, your attention, your energy. So while you're focused on where someone went, she's focused on what you gave. And that's why it hurts the way it does. Because it doesn't just hurt his heart. It hurts his pride. And it hurts his identity. So now it's not just sex anymore. Now it feels serious. Now it feels like it matters. And that shift doesn't come from the act changing. It comes from him being on the other side of it. And that's the part most people don't say out loud. He didn't suddenly develop new values. He didn't suddenly become a different man. The truth is, he just changed positions. So now he went from being the one doing it to the one it being done to. And now that changes how it feels, even though it's the same action. But now for the woman, this is the part that hurts her the most because she's been feeling this the entire time. She didn't need it to happen to her to understand what it meant. So when he says it didn't mean anything, what she hears is, you didn't care about me. And when he says, now it matters, what she feels is, so it only matters when it hurts you. And that's where the distance starts to grow. Not just from what happened, but from how differently they understood it. Because the truth is, some men were taught to separate sex from meaning. They were taught to treat it like it was small. And some women were taught to connect sex to everything, to feel it deeply, and to attach meaning to it. So they walk into the same situation, but they are not experiencing the same reality. One person thinks it's small, the other person feels everything. Until one day, they switch places. And now, for the first time, they understand each other. But now it hurts too much to fix. Because it was never nothing. You just couldn't feel it yet. If something in this episode stayed with you, good. that means the conversation isn't over. This is Days Like These. Remember, you still matter.